Yeah.
All right, just go right through with it and smile a lot, because that helps.
Five,
Are those
four,
caps?
3, 2.
Tonight, almost live and nearly from Hollywood, it's America Tonight. 30 minutes of big-time TV on the UBS network. Broadcasting from the heart of the Quad City area of Oklahoma, Okaluna, and El Tio, and the city of merchandise. With no mirth makers, who needs them? Hi, I'm Happy at Time. Hi, everybody. And now here's your host and mine, Mr. Bart Kimball.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you. Good evening and welcome again to America Tonight. I'm Barth Kimball. Great. You know, if you think the man who introduced me tonight was happy, you can imagine how I feel. I've been getting some letters saying, Barth, you're just a little overweight, so I decided to do something about it. I've just unloaded 182 pounds of ugly fat. That's right. I fired Jerry Hubbard. I knew you'd agree with me. There comes a time in the life of every show or every showman or every life, for that matter, where being rude to a man's face no longer seems to do any good. And stronger measures are called for. Since today is the deadline for the network to decide whether this show continues or is canceled, and knowing what I know, along with some strong hunches, I felt fully justified in giving Jerry his 2 weeks' notice this morning, effective 2 weeks ago. I can't tell you the number of evenings when a guest has come up to me after the show and said, sir, keep the money. It's not worth arguing over. And also, it was a pleasure appearing with a gentleman like yourself. They tell me this. They say, but I got to ask you one thing. Where the hell did you dig up that Neanderthal goon of an announcer? But, like some stupid best friend, I was always defending Jerry, reminding people of his better qualities, making them up on the spot if necessary. That took energy, and a lot of it. Energy that could have gone into the show, and thanks to videotape, into your homes. And all the while, countless guests were being abused, and fascinating conversations were being interrupted by witless and often racist drivel flowing from this buffoon's lips like some outtake from The Exorcist. I'm sorry. Now, one night of this could be fun. And a week of it maybe could be good alternative television. But 64 shows of this kind of crap can lodge in your throat like an unbuttered Triscuit, believe me. I did my best. I feel in my own soul I did my best to teach this runaway caboose of an employee the ins and outs of a business he might one day belong to. Well, for 12.5 weeks, he learned nothing about the ins, and as of today, he can start studying the outs. His hiney is canned, and the rest of him fired as well. Now, all of this is probably news to you, but of course, it's spread throughout the industry today like wildfire, and just in this short time, the response has been amazing. With the knowledge that Hubbard's not here, the truly high-caliber guests of our business have suddenly begun accepting our offers. And so tonight, it's a great pleasure to present a man we've been soliciting for a long time, the comedic genius behind the Ace Trucking Company's relative success. Please welcome one of the premier improvisational actors in the country, Mr. Fred Willard. This is something. Whoa. It's really nice to have you here. We've been trying to get you for a long time, Fred.
Well, thank you. Where's the big guy?
He's fired.
Oh.
Okay. Listen, Fred, you've been in movies, you've been on television, you worked nightclubs, and you play so darn many characters all the time. You know, this improv thing, they're always, all right, now I'm going to be a mailman, or I'm going to be this, and they come out and they change.
That's the nature of acting, and particularly improvisational acting is assuming different characters.
Yeah, and you do this so well. Is there any, it just comes to mind, is there any one character that you've played that like stands out in your mind, or one that you're recognized for?
No, ironically, all the characters I've played, I don't get so much recognition as mistaken identity. Ever since your show has gone on UBS, the national network, I can't go out anywhere without people saying, oh, are you Jerry Hubbard? You look like Jerry Hubbard. And as I've seen your show a couple of times, and there is somewhat of a resemblance, but it's gotten to be sort of a problem.
Really? Well, being Jerry Hubbard is certainly a problem for Jerry Hubbard, I'll tell you. Well, for you, that's amazing.
It's not fair when he's not here to defend himself, but I don't mind him, I don't mind being compared to him physically. I mean, he is a big, good-looking guy, you know? And, big, strapping, muscular-looking guy, you know? with a great, and I can say this as an actor, with a great speaking voice. You know, he has that nice resonant voice, which saves the show a lot when you start slurring. No, I don't mean that in a derogatory way, because everyone has their own speaking style. You slur, other people speak in a clear, articulate way. But the point is, he's got an excellent presence and a speaking voice, which I think is right for a major network television show or a feature film. And I'm talking about in a starring spot, a lead spot in a film. And it'll come, believe me. But anyway, the thing is, I don't think I act like Jerry Hubbard.
Well, I think if you think at all, you're not acting like Jerry Hubbard. So,
You fired him?
yeah, I did. I had to fire him.
Well, he was great, but sometimes he strained my credulity. I mean, he was so stupid. What did you do? The show I watched, you did something. You pointed, and when he
sometimes
started
he would
on
go
one
on
of
and on, and
those
I would-
insufferable runs, and what did you used
Well,
to
he
do?
would
That
go
was
on and
terrific.
on sometimes about things he knew nothing about.
Yeah,
You know
I
how
know.
some people do that. And so sometimes I just go, hey, look. You understand? You understand? See, that was just to distract him. So what I would do is I'd
but
say,
he'd get in
oh,
a
Jerry,
long run.
and I'd point, and... No, you're missing the point.
Can you guys keep this away, because we're trying to do a show here. It's another distraction here.
Well, at any rate, that's kind of the problem I have with him. So now I figure I'm just going to try to do it myself, and
Well,
not happy still. And everything's
great,
fine.
great.
Wonderful, happy time. We love him. So we're just going to cross our fingers and do that. You can stick around for a little while, can't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
All right, great. We'll be right back after these words. Thank you, Happy. Wonderful. It sounded almost like the whole band. Great. We're back with my special guest, Mr. Fred Willard. I can't tell you what a treat it is to have you.
It's a pleasure being here.
Fantastic. What a relief to have some intelligent people on the show instead of having the locked horns over here. Anyway, right now I'd like to introduce my next guest, and this is a surprise, especially for Mr. Willard here, because apparently they're very good friends, and you don't know he's here. He's an actor. He's also an actor, actually, like yourself. You've seen him on all sorts of television shows, from the very best to the grossly under-budgeted. He was one of the stars of the hit show Mary Hartman, which catapulted him to stardom. Since then, he's fallen on fairly hard times, I'm sorry to say, and is pretty much taking what he can get, working for that same company, who also seems to have their troubles actually getting a hit series these days. He just finished taping his last show of his current series today, and rather than sit around some sleazy bar biting his nails and praying for renewal, he graciously consented to come on our show. Pretty nice of him. Please welcome Mr. Martin Mull.
Yeah.
Hi. Hi, how are you? Well, I must say this is a treat I have been waiting for a long time. I don't know if you've been watching America Tonight regularly, but from time to time, I would sing a song or two here, here and there, to entertain the people, or... or to kill 3 minutes when a guest cancels or a writer quits, right? Well, yes. But the point is, I sang a lot of your tunes. Really? Well, I heard you sang, but to be honest, we sing so differently, Barth, I didn't recognize my own material. But if you say so, thanks. If you like that material, I've just made a new album here for ABC Records, and it's called Sexts and Violins. You might want to buy it. Frank Duvall did the arrangements, and I'm sure you've heard of him. I haven't, but I'm a little rusty in the music department. Maybe Happy's heard of him. Hap?
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Have you ever heard of Frank Duvall?
Frank Duvall? Frank Duvall, absolutely I've heard of Frank Duvall. Well, I used to go to school with him back in Ohio, music school, where the man is an absolute genius. He's 4 or 5 years older than I am. But I tell you, he's an absolute genius, and that's what I used to envy him about.
Happy, I'm sure he's a wonderful man. Thank you very much. Well, anyway, that's the new album, and I just thought I'd show it to you, okay? Well, Martin, do you think we could maybe talk you into doing one of those tunes from the new album for us? How about it, folks, huh? Well, thank you again, but first of all, there's something I'd like to say. I'm afraid it has to do with your, thank you, your sidekick there, that Hubbard fella. I'm a little upset about something there, and... Oh, don't worry, he won't ruin your tune. He's gone for good. Right now, he's probably curled up with a Spider-Man comic book on a bench at the trailway station, getting ready for that 411 back to Fernwood.
Well, no, that's just the point. You say he's gone for good. I'm not so sure it's for good. What? Well, I think you're making a big mistake here. I think, frankly, Jerry was the only reason. I know that I watched the show.
Yeah,
He's
that's
amusing.
right. Yeah.
He's handsome. He knew how to get the people excited. He did all the commercials and the announcing for scale or less. Now and then he'd act like a jerk, but he sure didn't have a monopoly on that as far as this show goes. I just think he made a big mistake, and I miss him. That's it. I mean it. Yeah. I miss him.
Well, I think we've chatted long enough. Now, how about that song?
Well, Barth, I hate to say it, but not without Jared here. It just wouldn't be the same. Call him up, get him back, and I'll sing. That's the deal.
Well, I have no idea where he is. I mean...
Well, I thought you said he was at the bus station. Call him up. I'll be waiting in my dressing room when he gets there. Okay? Fair enough. Fred, want to play some cards?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Remember when we used to do that on the bus?
What am I supposed to, I can't... We'll be right back. I know men don't usually have pink suitcases, but he does. He's tall, dark hair, kind of dumb looking. Really? How long ago? He left. No, don't bother. It's not important. Well, we're back, or at least I am, I should say. Jerry's apparently on the way on the bus back to Ohio, and so...
I feel like Lou Gehrig, my gosh. I got on the bus, I meant to, but you know, I always take the bus down here.
Right.
So when old Cecil came by and he honked, he says, hop on board. I was so upset, I just got on and we got talking about our problems. And I got down funny, I was outside the studio. I said, well, what the heck, I might as well go in since this is the last show. And I wanted to sit down and get a good look at the guy who you hired to replace me.
Oh, Jerry, I didn't hire anybody to replace you.
Really? Well, okay.
Come on. Jerry!
Boy, oh boy.
That's beautiful luggage you got there.
Yeah. Thank you. It matches, too, and I've never had it stolen in 11 years.
Hard to believe.
Yeah.
Well, there you are. There you have it. I ended Jerry's career, and now I'm allowing him back to end mine. And by virtue of our agreement, I think in a moment, Martin Mull will be out here to end his own career on our stage with a song. But meanwhile, let's have Happy join us, too. This is Reunion. Something I have never heard how you got that name Happy.
Oh, Happy? Well,
you know?
No.
Do you want to hear this?
Yeah.
Well, it kind of evolved out of a sort of a joie de vivre, you know, just kind of humanated out from me, you know, that sort of thing. And when I was a kid, I had two nicknames, you know, but I decided on the nickname Happy, and that's the one I've used all of my adult life.
Happy? Mm-hmm. What was the other one?
Cabbage Nose.
Well, wait a minute. Something else I don't know. What was your real name?
Yeah.
Darcy.
Darcy?
Darcy Bob Kine. That's...
Darcy Bob Cabbage Nose Kine. What a silly name. I'm glad it's not mine.
Yeah. Hey, let's change the subject, Jerry. What about you?
What?
Well, did your playmates used to tease you about being the biggest kid in the class or something like that?
Oh, you know, I never had the same playmates or classmates 2 years in a row, because every year come June, they'd graduate and go on to the next class. Always in a hurry, you know. But I wanted to hang back, make sure I got that whole enchilada, you know? Stop and smell the roses, as they say.
Which in this case was refried beans.
You know, just before I left, I'm so darn glad I came back because I was looking through the publicity department, you know, that our albums we put together, the old pictures.
Oh, no.
And I was really so sad. I don't think you've even seen some of these. This is mine.
Okay.
And yeah, and wait a second. These are mine. Frankly, I don't know which is which. Happy, these are yours, and I think this is mine. Yeah. All right.
What is are these incredible? Can we see some of these? Look at little
We had an argument
Jerry.
over one of those T-shirts. Oh, that was me, yeah, when I was just a little fella.
Brand
And look at
new.
who, guess who this is?
You know, I still have those shorts. I had to have them let out so many times. But
I've gained so
perfectly
much.
good. Why throw them away?
I've gained so much weight since I was a kid.
Well,
too.
look at this. This picture of you here,
Yeah,
Jerry. You're
yeah.
quite slim now.
Gosh, he sure is there.
Yeah.
I think I got one like that here, too, as I was looking through here. I was rather athletic when I was a kid, only they don't have it in here. I guess that
Oh,
was
is that,
lost.
look at, there's two shots of you leaving town at different ages. There's this one, and then this one.
I'll tell you, on this one, I went to visit New York my first trip, and it was right after I graduated from high school. And I went down, the first thing, this is Times Square, and I went down, and I wanted to see that big ball drop down at midnight, but I guess they didn't have it that night. And because I've seen it so many times on TV, and just the night I'm there, I guess they canceled it.
This is my violin, the same one I used when I was 15.
Oh,
See that?
crap.
Yeah, that's the Black
still
Beauty we
using
call
that?
that violin.
It's still got the price tag on it. What is it,
Right.
12?
No, well, pre-inflation, yes, $12. This is up to
Yeah.
about 40 now.
How old were you there? That's about, you were just a kid there, huh?
I was 15 years of age.
And look at the great toupees he's wearing. Even in that, you know, in those days, I didn't think they even...
That wasn't a toupee. Now, if you want to see a toupee, I'll give you a toupee. I'll give you one, right? Right
give
there.
us one?
Now, right there's a toupee.
Oh, what?
See that?
Oh, look at
See it
Happy
right
with the
there?
rug. And without.
Yeah, that's right. That's before and after.
Barth with the...
And my mom.
Oh, is it your mom?
Is that
Yeah.
your mother?
I swear to God, it's my mom.
Were you blind in those days?
It's my mother.
You sure it's just not a lady you've sold a used piano to?
What do you got?
This is a picture of another band that I was with at Myers Lake in Canton, Ohio. You see, that's where I first started wearing these earphones. I've gotten to where I have to have those on or my head gets very cold.
Again, as promised, Martin Mull has agreed to do a song from his new album. The album, again, Saxon Violins. The tune is called Good Night. Now, for those of you who care, you'll notice I didn't say goodbye. I said good night. I also did not say, and listen to this, fellas, that we'll be right back tomorrow night, because quite honestly, there is a chance we won't. General Unger Witter and the board of directors are meeting right now to find out if there is some way we can put this show on the air even cheaper.
Yeah.
So, cross your fingers for us, and cross your fingers for Martin, who, as soon as we return from this commercial break, he's going to try to sing without the aid of Happy Kind and the Mirth Makers, which is almost as difficult as singing with it. We'll be right back. Stay with us. This is still America Tonight. I made a deal with Barth earlier that if Jerry Hubbard came back on the show, I would do a song, and I'm a man of my word, and I'm going to have to do it with the Mirth Makers, or such as they are tonight. I love your group, Mr. Kine. It's very, very nice. And Happy has said he's going to back me up on this. It's a little song called Good Night. Hope you enjoy it. It's on that album. It's for sale. Here we go. It's all right. It's all right. If you just want to go to sleep tonight, honey, that's all right. Now you just hustle on to dreamland, and I'll turn off the light. If you just want to go to sleep tonight, honey, that's all right. But don't make a habit of it, sweetheart, or I might get bored. And I might do something we'd both be sorry for in the back seat of our Ford. Just like Wilbur Mills, oh Lord, but that's all right. It's all right. For God's sakes, it's all right. If you just want to go to sleep tonight, it's all right, honey. You go on ahead. And on behalf of Happy, Barth, Jerry, Fred Willard, and myself, Martin Mull, good night.
Some members of our studio audience will receive the following classic curves from Dittos, the Feel the Fit Company, pants to make every woman feel beautiful, sizes 3 to 15 and 8 to 18. And Lillian Vernon's catalog gift certificate, jewelry, gifts, decor, personalized items, and things from practical to whimsical, furnished by Lillian Vernon. And Marichon's Ramen Supreme, rich noodles in a deliciously seasoned broth. It cooks up instantly and makes a great meal by itself or mixed with meat and vegetables.
Wednesday, July 5th, America Tonight. Martin Mull and the gang moved to their new time, 11 p.m. Monty Python, however, will still reign supreme every Saturday at 11 p.m. starting July 8th. And next, Black Orchid.